Welcome everybody to another Sunday sermon with Justin Banks and Chris. No risk, no premium. We're not financial advisors. No one is on this call. So take it as pure entertainment, opinion only.
Yes, sir. What is up, guys? Happy to be here. For those of you that I saw on Saturday, the tax call, very much a success. Want to give another shout out to Dion, fellow Wolf, for taking the time out. That is posted on the YouTube channel, guys. Check it out. A lot of people are going to be getting their W-2 soon, and a lot of brokers will be sending out the statements to us as well. So, guys, get ready for that.
That was really informative. So that was really cool.
Was
I feel like I learned some things. So
cool. Me too. Man, we talked. It's funny. Dion and I probably sat down a couple times since before. We're on the phone a few times, and we made the whole PowerPoint and everything like that. And I thought we talked about everything. I felt like I was a tax expert. And then on the call, man, he pulled some little tricks out of his sleeve. Man, I still learned a few things. I wrote some notes down myself. So that was cool as fuck. That was super cool.
It was cool. You could ask him any question. He was on it, just knew it off the top of his head. So that was
he already knew.
Yeah,
he already knew.
Cool.
That was super cool. Super cool. Also, to the people on the call and that will be watching this later, guys, if you are not already, head to the website www.wolvesofwealth.com. There'll be a pop-up screen. You can put in your name, or you can put your email and phone number. I personally do a weekly newsletter. Now, it is not as in-depth as what you're going to get with us, but overall and in general, guys, it is very good for the average or common person. Okay. It is very, very good. If it does not pop up when you first come in, then at the bottom, I believe that there is a space down there.
On your, we'll have to talk to him about.
Phone. It might be for the phone.
Yeah, on your phone it does work, guys. So if you go on your phone, it'll pop up right away. Newsletter.
It just says stay up to date on everything Wolves of Wealth. Pretty much, guys. You just put in your email. But anyway, I do a brief market overview of a weekly overview of what to expect. Like this week, I talked a lot about just inflation, because those are what's what the general public really needs to know. Dan, shout out everybody on the website too that the gains are on there. Dan says shout out those ER wins. Yeah, I think Dylan's on there. Dan's on. I mean, a lot of people are on there, but that are actually on the call right now. So shout out, man. We always like to brag about y'all. I'm putting it on there. I have somebody that was like, bro, you guys even make money? And I was like, excuse me? Excuse me? They were my DMs. They're upset. They probably lost a lot of money. I don't know. But I said, let's go to the website. Like, oh, you have a website? I was like, yeah. They go to the website and they didn't say anything. So I screenshotted a bunch of stuff on the website. And then I went and screen recorded the Stock Wins channel and just started scrolling. And I sent it to them. I was like, is that enough? And I was like, see you later. Anyway, yeah, they are not a member and they will not be a member. They did not get an invite. Because that was not the type of person I want in our organization. Anyway. So on to what's actually going on, what we can expect this week. Guys, this week is OPEX week. Let's look at what OPEX is. Options expiration. Options expiration is what OPEX stands for. You usually see us type it in the Discord chat. It will be in all caps and it will say OPEX. It is the third week of every single month. It is the third Friday of every single month. Okay. The third Friday of every single month. All right. So guys, it is also known as the monthly contracts. They're all called monthly. So if you actually look on your options chain, when you go to buy an option, you can buy a weekly option and it'll say weekly. Okay. Then there's one that always has a chain that does not have anything next to it. That is a monthly. Some brokers actually have monthly listed, but if you're on TOS, it will just say nothing. It will not have a weekly next to it. That's how you know it is a monthly. Okay. And go ahead.
Oh, no, that wasn't me. That was somebody else.
Oh, okay. So guys, why is the third week most important? Okay, well, guys, the third week, the monthly options chain, if you actually look and notice, it will always have the most volume and the most open interest. Why that's important? Because the big boys, the hedge funds, the institutional buyers, the fucking granddaddy accounts, They're only gonna buy where there's a ton of liquidity, okay, or a lot of open interest already, which is actually telling you that there's liquidity in there. They typically don't buy weekly contracts because the worst thing that they could do is buy 10,000 contracts, 20,000 contracts, right? For certain stocks or indexes, right? And they can't exit the positions because there's no one to be on the other end of it. So they typically always are going to buy the monthlies. That's always going to have the most volume and most open interest. So if you know that the majority of these big boys, the majority of the money, okay, are going to be selling and taking profits and then rolling out into future months, guys, that is just called massive selling and massive buying. So this week, you always expect the market to be even more volatile than usual. Okay, even more volatile than usual. So if you actually notice, yeah, we can go back because remember we gave this point out. Go back and everything that you highlighted.
Oh yeah, all of these arrows is all OPEX weeks.
Those are all OPEX weeks. So you see the volatility,
start
right?
and the end.
Yeah.
This is one day, so it crashed on like there's major selling usually on Friday.
Yeah, even if anytime it touched that 50-day, which is that lime green line, from like in the past, if Justin even scrolls back even more, those are all OPEX weeks, all of them. They're all OPEX weeks where all of those happen. Okay, so guys, what does that mean? There's going to be massive selling. There's going to be massive buying. So one day we could crater, and the next day we could be up. So this is not a swing environment. This is not a weekly contract environment. This is not a buy and hold. This is 1000% a scalper's smash and grab, rob the bank, don't stick your ass around to see if the goddamn cops show up. You are in and out, or you simply do not trade. You simply do not trade. It's that simple. OPEX will, if you have a small account and you're not disciplined and you overtrade, you will go to zero. You will blow up. I guarantee it. 90% of new traders that have zero discipline blow up on OPEX. It's just a fact. It's a fact. Okay. So if Justin and I aren't over trading like last week, we're not over trading. You go look at our call outs, 1 a day, 2 a day, maybe. If Justin and I aren't over trading and not trying to get in a position all the time and just searching for that next trade and fiending for that next trade, if we're not doing that, you sure as hell shouldn't be doing that. Okay. It's just that simple.
Yeah. I mean, last week I tried to I show you guys, like we did more of like just like swings throughout the week and they paid fat. Like if you just took the swings and held it and just followed the trade plans that I put out, every day you would have woke up green. So, yep. And it was simple. I wasn't stressing. I even put it in the call out channel. I was like, I'm not going to I'm over chasing these momentum plays. Like they're nice. And when the market's hot, best believe me, I'll be back. Like, cause you get over 100% and you get runner after runner after runner. But for, 20%, 40%, I'd rather take my risk with options right now, especially, how they traded SPY on Friday. Like, wait for the top, wait for the bottom, and just buy either call or put, and then just chill. So
it takes one trade a day.
Yeah. So I feel like that's where I'm at right now. And that's my side of why I'm
that's where we all should be.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, we're not over trading. That's fine. And I still get in the chat. I step away for 10 goddamn minutes, take a piss, get some water, get a bagel, and I come back and someone's like, oh man, it reversed on me. Oh man, I'm like, why are you trading intraday? Why are you trading in the middle? Every game plan we've put out for the week was we're either going to buy puts at the top or resistance, and we're going to buy calls at the bottom. There were 2 trades on Friday, even though Trell gave you guys probably 17 fucking runners and 17 like 100% opportunities on Friday. I mean, he nailed it. But let's be honest, where were the 2 trades really? Okay, the 2 trades were right there. We said if we can get back to 464, 465 in the morning, we're going to go short. Then where was the second trade, Justin? You were just there. The bottom. We said if it doesn't get through the overnight low, it could bounce. And then you could have rode that back up. Now, you would have had to wait 3 hours in between the trade. And that's fucking boring. It's fucking boring. I get it. Okay. But instead, you wouldn't get lost in the chop. You wouldn't be settling for, I'm trying to get you to get 10% here, 20% here. Da-da. We have the puts from the top from 7. We sold them at 20. They went to 35. Okay. Then I didn't even take a trade the rest of the day. I didn't need to. I hit my goal. I did everything I needed to do. Then Trell calls on live. I think that's bottom. I think that's bottom. And I said, I'm pretty sure that's bottom too. And I came in and said, guys, you'll buy tops and you'll buy puts, you'll buy bottoms, you'll buy calls. That's it. And I said, if this is bottom, this is what we're buying. It's the calls down here. Now, I didn't even take them. I was driving home. But I saw some SPX contracts like the 60 or the 46 40s or something like that. They were 6. They ended up going to 25. So you could have made 2 trades all day long. 1 contract each. You wanted $700 goes to $3,500 in the morning. $600 goes to $2,500 in the afternoon, and you're done. And you made 2 trades, 1 contract each, low commission fees. You're good to go.
Because yeah, you don't want to worry about the middle. That's
the middle will lose you, especially go to the 5-minute. Go to the 5-minute. People are getting stuck on the 5-minute too.
I mean,
And
yeah, it's way less stress.
It's chop, chop, chop. Each candle. Look at the wicks. Those wicks will get you scared. Those wicks will have you scared. They'll have you on a fake out. You'll think we're cratering, then we're up the next minute. That is not what does it. That is not what gets it done. And now we're going into a week where we're going to expect every single day of this 4-day week to be exactly like that, and probably a little more volatile.
Yeah. I mean, because we don't want to sit here and tell you guys, okay, we're going to, it's scary this week, because every week it's fucking scary. But if we just take limited risk, but high probability, like this is where we're going to be at.
Yep, exactly. I mean, I put on Twitter, I'm pretty much going to stand by it. If we're not through 470 this week, we're probably going to be going short. And now, why do I say 470? Because that's resistance. We have not gotten through 470. Okay, so go to the daily. Let's look at the daily on SPY. All right, cool. So also, I do want to point out, what is the pattern that everybody is talking about on the daily head and shoulders? Everyone and their mama on Twitter now is talking about this head and shoulders, which technically it is. You have left shoulder around December 13th, December 27th. Then you have the spike up of the head, and then the right shoulder is forming right now. Okay, it's there. There is a head and shoulders for sure. So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing, look at where.
Look at these trend lines. I said, look at these trend lines.
The trend lines are money.
Yeah, they are.
Trend lines are money. Now, zoom out a tad, and I got to read these where we're at on the MAs and stuff. Okay, cool. Let me just take a look. Okay, so we got the 8. Is the white, and that's the EMA. Okay, cool, perfect. So we've got so we fail. Where's the 200 days? Not even on screen. It's way down there.
Right here, right?
No, the 200 days no 200 days. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
right
it's 200.
Way down there. Okay, so you guys see the 50-day moving average, which is right above the close. It's that yellow line. Yep. We have to regain that or bust, in my opinion. It could be seen as a huge rejection level. Okay. So we need to get through there. Now, what is that? What is that at, Justin?
Right now, like 467.
Yep. Yeah, 467, 468. Realistically, we definitely need to get through that. Okay. And then if we do get through that, like we do charge through, that's good. Where's the next 20-day at? Almost 470, right? So I keep on saying 470. If we want to be bullish, we got to get over that 20-day. Okay. To have life on the bull side, we have to get through the 50. And if we don't, it's very likely we head lower. Okay. It's very likely we head lower. Now, Justin, where is that 100-day moving average? I think that's what you have right there. Yep. 456, which happens to be Monday's low. Okay. Now I'll tell you this: if Friday's lows break, okay, we're probably going back to 450. If Friday's lows breaks, we're probably going back to 450. But I would expect a massive bounce right there at the 100-day. Yep, 456. And
Yeah.
if that doesn't hold, then we're going lower. And that would what would that do? That would complete the head and shoulders. Okay, realistically, because we'd be below the neckline. The neckline is pretty much where Justin has the green. You have the green line. Yep, 454, 455. That would be about the neckline. Okay. So that's what we're going to be looking at. So guys, if we chop all day on Tuesday tomorrow, okay, and we don't get through, then we'll probably be looking to take puts if we're not through the 50 or the 20. And we just said the 50 is at 467. Okay, and the 20 days at 469, 470. Okay, very, very, very simple. Now in the morning, if we immediately go down and test the lows on Friday, because we know that's big support, right? 460-ish, 459, 460. We go down and test that and we bounce, we're probably going to play calls off that big support. Okay. If we run up and test between 467 and 469 and we don't get through, then we go short. Okay, Dylan. Yeah, Dylan posted. I liked your levels, Dylan. I was checking them out earlier. They look good. Listen, guys, the levels aren't going to be exact. Because if you would have said, okay, guys, look, my plan for Friday is if we test Monday's low, then I take calls. Well, we didn't test Monday's low, but we did test overnight low, and it bounced 50 fucking points from there, or 5 points on SPY. Okay. So you're not going to get to exact levels every time, unfortunately. If trading was that easy where you got to exact levels all the time, we'd all be rich. Okay. But you just have to know. You just have to know. If we don't get through that close, like if it's close and we don't get through, like if we pop up to 467, get through, we're at 468, and then all of a sudden you just start to see a lot of red candles to the downside, that means we're probably going to get sold off. We're not getting through that 470, which is huge. Right. And some people are going to come in the chat and go, well, Chris, we didn't get to 470, so I didn't take puts. I'm like, okay, well, it's not going to get to exact levels. Okay. It will never get to exact levels. Sometimes it might, but for the most part, it won't. So you have to just be aware. Okay. Be aware. Justin, would you say our analysis of getting through the 50 to the 2 or to the 20, and if we don't, probably going to see downside? Would you say that's pretty? Would that be your game plan as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, those are high moving averages. I mean, we respect those as supports, so we also respect them as resistances. So
yep. Nope. Definitely.
If it can't get through, it can't get through. I obviously, like 450 isn't something that's too crazy. If you look, it just hit there back in November, December, and even the end of December. So 450 is something that's really not too crazy.
On the daily, I think that would be on the daily. I think that'd be the completion of the head and shoulders, really.
Yeah.
If you're looking from a technical analysis, I would say 450.
Yeah.
Like 455 breaks and a 450 test comes, which the neckline is about 455.
Yeah, it would be like right here. It would. You're right.
But so guys, I'm also looking at this. Okay, I'm looking at this. If you look at the width, now the width, how wide each shoulder and neck is, okay, look at how many candles it took to make that left shoulder, right? I'm looking at one where the green circle is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It took 10 days. Then if you look from the bounce, it took about 10 to 12 more days to make the head. And we're already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're 5 candles in on the right shoulder. So something's going to give this week or next. And this week is OPEX and next week is the FOMC, where the Fed is talking about faster taper, 4 rate hikes. Okay.
I mean, honestly,
so we can expect these 2 weeks to be pretty fucking volatile.
I apologize. I was going to say, honestly, looking at this, I mean, yeah, it definitely looks like it's a long top. I feel like there has to be a sell-off from this because there's a long accumulation up here. There has to be distribution after this. So I only see like down.
I see a potentially test of that second to the top green line that you have where the red circle is most recently that failed. Yeah, right in that area. I would not be surprised at a test of between 467 to 470 at all, especially because today, if you watch the futures today, because they were ticking all day, we stayed right at this pretty much where we closed. We stayed there on
Yeah.
SPY. The actual ES was about 46.40 to 46.65 pretty much all day long, all from last night until today. So it's just bouncing off of this little 20-point range, about 2-point move on SPY. So that's what I'm going to be looking at. Justin, do you have where you can put the volume profile in? Because I would
Oh, I
also
should.
think
Yeah.
that looking at SPY, it also could be a good indicator of if we're at a supply level, which we could already be at resistance right here at 465,
Um,
465-ish volume. I think it was,
right.
yeah. All right, guys. So check us out. What did I just say? This is a pretty big supply level right here, right?
Oh,
Look at that
420,
biggest.
blaze it.
Blaze it up. Look
Yes.
look where the highest candle or the highest volume is, right where the red line is. I mean, right where the red circle is most recently, right? If you look up, and Justin, you could circle it. Right about 465. That volume shelf is biggest, right there.
Let
Look
me
in that
move
area.
this.
That's where it's biggest. So if recently we cannot get through there, that is a supply level. What is supply? There's a ton of sellers. That's resistance. That's what that means. That's resistance. Now
I
you
don't
guys
know.
see. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I don't really see anything in the forecast, like you said, OPEX week and then the meeting. And especially with this shelf, it doesn't really look like there's like no catalyst for it to go up here. It only looks like the only way is down.
I can see a bull trap up to 468,
Like you
469.
said. Yeah.
Yep. And then
Again.
right on back down, right into that supply level.
Yeah.
Right. That's where I would be looking. So, guys, we could also dance around all day tomorrow and nothing happens. Okay. Nothing happens. And we wait. We want the confirmation of the failure of resistance. I mean, yeah, it will fail the resistance level. So it will fail the level, which in turn makes it a positive resistance. Okay, that sounds weird. I don't want to do a double negative, but you guys get what I'm saying. Let it confirm that we tried higher and it couldn't get through, and now we try lower. If we crater out of the get-go on Monday, I'm not going to chase puts. We're going to look to see what happens at Friday's low. Why wouldn't we? What if we go down and test that level that Justin's at right now, which was Thursday's low? 464, 463, 56, and then we bounce up to 470, and you loaded the boat to the put side because you were too fucking trigger happy. You blew your load. You chased. Right? This is all about patience. This week is all about patience. Having the ultimate highest conviction. Because if we're going to have days of massive buying and massive selling, you bet your ass this shit's going to get a rocket, and a rug pull can happen at any fucking time. So we're also not going to be, you don't go full size during OPEX week. You don't. You just don't. Okay, if this is your first OPEX week, it'll be a great OPEX week to just watch. Because watching and learning is always going to outweigh and beat participating and losing money because you're uneducated or you're greedy. Okay, simple. Very, very, very simple. Okay, that's really what we're going to be watching this week. I guess, Justin, do you want to add anything to that? I think we hit that pretty well. We could look at the weekly as well when you have a sec. I do want to point one thing out on the weekly. So zoom it up, make it like taller. Yeah. Nice. So we're holding that 20-day, right? Holding that 20-day. Can you put the 21-day moving average as well on?
Yes.
You might have to add it because it's something that when I was doing some research earlier, I was checking it out.
You said 21-day EMA?
21-day EMA. Yep. 21 EMA. Yep. Okay, nice. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Justin.
You're welcome.
So, guys, there are pretty much, I would say, there's classified, the majority of traders are, if they're moving average traders on the technical side, they're either trading the 8 and 21 EMAs, or they're trading the 20, 50, and 200-day MAs or SMAs, which are simple moving averages. Okay, so there's exponential moving averages and there are simple moving averages. There's not one that is more right than the other. There are just things that people play. Okay, so if you look where the 20-day and the 21-day EMA, correct? You guys see the red line is the 20-day simple moving. The 21-day EMA is the highlighter green. Look where they have both of them there. Both of them are at the exact same spot. And what did we bounce off of? Right at that level. So that is, I would say 456 is a pretty massive area of support. Okay. So no wonder we bounced right off that. Okay. I wanted to make that. I was looking at it earlier, Justin, and I just thought it was noteworthy to talk about how both of those. So both types of traders, they would say, as long as we're riding this 20-day or as long as we're riding the 8 EMA, that's a buy level for a lot of traders. So they'll follow that. So that it makes complete sense that we bounce directly off of that level. And look at the 2 other times prior, we bounced right off, right there. And then go 3 weeks back. Well, yeah, I mean, we bounced
right
off
here,
the
I
8.
guess.
Yeah, right there. But look at then over to, we had 4 weeks where we rode that 8 EMA, right? Interesting.
Yeah, it hasn't really broke that.
It hasn't broken yet. So it's just noteworthy. Now, guys, this is the weekly.
Except for
Take that into
here.
consideration. Well, that was the news.
Oh, that
The
was
news broke that. Yeah, that's COVID. So when Justin and I stress to you guys, this is not March 2020 bull market anymore. You don't just buy anything and it always goes up. Okay. This is still not a swing environment. Matter of fact, if anything, I personally, and I'm not going to let my bias get in the way. I'm just going to trade what's in front of me. But personally, seeing all the charts that are in a downtrend, this is a swing short market, in my opinion. Justin, I mean, would you think I'm crazy for thinking that?
No, I think if we just
No.
play it light and then get through it until the market turns hot again. I mean, that's how you always play the market throughout the year. Sometimes you have to play light, and then when it turns good, you play heavy.
Yep. Yeah, if you guys don't like playing the downside, that's fine. A lot of people are comfortable with it. That's okay. That's okay. Then you have to wait for massive support. Okay? You have to wait for massive support. Just like everybody that plays the short side, they wait for massive resistance. But the key here and the most biggest thing I want to give on this call today is you have to have some fucking patience. If you blow your load, you cannot play the rest of the day, the rest of the week. You could blow your account. Okay. Let the market tell you what is going to happen. We could test the 50-day. If we get through the 50-day on the daily, then we could test the 20-day. Okay. If we fail either of those, we're probably going to head lower. So wait for the confirmation. And if we know if we close through 470 on SPY, that's pretty bullish. If we close through it, that's pretty bullish in my eyes. Look at all that supply up there, even on the 1 hour. Massive. It can't get through there.
We shall see.
It can't hold, and it also doesn't help. It can't hold above that level. It gets up there, it makes its way, and the bulls are like, "Hey, there's some life," and the bears are like, "Ha, gotcha," and then boom, right back down.
Not much on the Qs.
The Qs, okay. Oh, you know what, Justin? Somebody wanted to ask me about TNX.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what we talked about too. Let's look at TNX real quick, guys. TNX, a 10-year Treasury note. They go, Chris. Look at that. How are these correlated? So, guys, when there is a hot 10-year Treasury yield, okay, that means you could buy.
Bullish.
Yeah. It's very bullish. just know this. When the 10-year starts to spike up, that means that it basically saying that investors are seeking more of a risky investment, or they're okay with a little more risk at play because the 10-year note is giving a higher percentage. So they know they can always invest in that. They can invest tons of money in that safe asset and go after riskier assets because it's higher. So when the TNX gets hot, short-term stocks are not the play. And we saw that all last week. Amazon, Google, Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, all these stocks, did they ever have big updates really? And if they had some sort of life, did they not get faded to oblivion? And if you would have held any weekly out the money calls, they all went to zero, all of them. Okay, all of them. Okay, just like when TNX gets low, then the money will shift back into tech. Okay, but right now it looks like we are going to break. We have a nice bull flag forming, 1.7 held, and now we're trying to go for the breakout. If this gets above 2 this week, okay, which is possible. If it gets above 2 this week, we're in trouble. Not in trouble. There's going to be some blood. In my opinion, there's going to be some blood. Okay. Notice how low and under one that we stayed, okay, on this TNX, that we stayed during that bull run. I mean, look from March 2020 all the way until, I would say, May 2021. We stayed below 1, really. Okay. And they bought everything up. Then when TNX started continuing to rise, right, then we started seeing a lot of choppiness action. And now it's already getting back up there. So guys, keep your eye on TNX. It will tell you. Remember, that's why last week I said, guys, I wouldn't get so bullish right now. Okay. I wouldn't get so bullish. Can you explain the VIX relation as well? Yeah. So Justin, go to the VIX. Justin's really good with the VIX, guys. So what is the VIX? The VIX is the volatility index. Basically, the VIX and the SPY or the S&P 500, you could really play them as inverses to each other. Okay. If you see the VIX start to get hot, okay, if you see it start to get hot, meaning it is going up, that means the overall volatility of the market is going up. Typically, you will see selling pressure, right? Typically, you'll see selling pressure. Now, if it starts dipping down really low, then we know there'll be more buyers in control, less volatility. People feel safe when they see the markets aren't as volatile. They feel like it's safer to start investing their money. Think about investors at this point, because investors drive the market. The big money drives the market. Okay, traders, we create intraday volatility, but overall the trends are created by the big boy buyers. Okay. So I challenge you, simply play calls and puts wait. Kevin says, simply play calls and puts are the same time. Correct. Wait, is there a typo in there? Am I reading that wrong? Justin, you reading that? Simply play calls and puts are the same time. Am I not reading that right?
Yeah. Can you just rewrite that?
Yeah, rewrite it, or maybe
I'm sorry.
if someone else understands what they're saying, maybe answer or.
Would you say above 20? That's where SPY calls and
okay.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. I mean, essentially, yes.
Yes, Kevin. Yes. So listen, if you know, Kevin, like you're like, hey, we have OPEX coming this week. There's always higher volatility. We have the fucking FOMC, where Powell talks next week. We're anticipating some volatility. So we're low right now under 20. You could go buy the $22 calls on VIX, knowing see some volatility, right? And we'll probably have a spike, right? So yes, Kevin, so you can play one VIX and one with the spike. Correct. And I know the VIX contracts are pretty cheap too. You know what's funny is we actually really haven't played the VIX in here, which I'm surprised. I've played it a little in the past, but I'm not that comfortable with it. I'm more comfortable because I just have more experience just being hands-on with SPY and SPX. But I mean, realistically, yeah, you could easily. I mean, okay, so look back to March 20 right there. This is a perfect example. You see where the VIX went from 15 to 70? What did the SPY do at that exact same time? Right? So March 20, right? You look at the SPY. Oh, you can't put a second chart in there,
You can. I just always forget how.
huh?
These
Okay,
two.
both. Just do one. Anyway, if you look, you guys could pull it up yourselves. You'll see what the market did the exact same time when the VIX went up 60 points. The market went down 100 and something points, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So that same time frame, the market
120.
went down. Exactly. So keep your eye on those things. And now, guys, the last thing I'm going to leave you with, another good inclination on how to play SPY. Okay. We know that Apple and Microsoft are the highest weighted stocks on SPY. Now, there's also Tesla. There's also Amazon, right? There's also NVIDIA. There's also Google. There's these other stocks, but we have to pay attention to the most highest weighted stocks that are on the S&P 500. Because let me give you a scenario for tomorrow. Let's go back to SPY. Let's say tomorrow out the gate, SPY just rips, takes the fuck off, and it goes and tests the we're talking about the 50-day. So it goes and tests 467.50, just rips up. Okay, and all the tech stocks start to rip up too. We're watching it, we're going, it's interesting. And then all of a sudden you see Apple and Microsoft and Amazon, you see them all starting to curl down a little bit, start getting some selling pressure. Guys, that's your first inclination of, okay, it's getting weak. Because what is the SPY? The SPY is the biggest trailing indicator of the stocks it's comprised of. So if you know that Apple and Microsoft and Google and Facebook and right and Amazon are all stocks that are in this, you better be watching them. Does this make sense? Something to think about. Okay, something to think about. All right. Okay, Justin, I need a sip of water. I'm screaming. Thank you guys for letting me fucking yell at you. But it's because I love you. You guys aren't gonna get this level of real and fucking ass chewing anywhere else. Well, anywhere you pay for it, at least.
Okay, Goldman Sachs this week.
Okay, Goldman Sachs.
Financials.
XLF got beat to shit on.
Yeah,
XLF
right?
is the bank. It got beat up in the morning time because I think Dan was talking about a lot of those bank earnings. I know a lot of guys were watching those. Yeah, so big candle down. Now, I think a lot will have to do with what Goldman Sachs. Now, is Goldman Sachs, are they in the morning or are they after close?
Morning.
Okay, so they're at 5. Okay, Mike. So 8 there. So this will give you an inclination. Maybe a trade you could play tomorrow is the banks, the financial sector. Now, if you guys were on the spaces with us yesterday, and then Bank of America's when? That'll be another
tomorrow. Our Bank of America is on Wednesday.
So we saw some other smaller banks give out on Friday. So we can have a pretty good idea of what Bank of America could do. But I'll tell you guys this. Short term, this is what I was talking about on the spaces the other day with my buddy Red. Guys, also go follow After Hours with Red. Huge spaces, very smart guy. We get on every Sunday. It's a good listen. It's a good way for me to get my mindset focused too, talking with some very astound professionals about the market. Anyway, and you guys can ask me for his information in the chat. I'll give it to you. But he basically said he's still long on the banks. And somebody goes, well, the banks got beat up. And I said, well, guys, basically, the banks, well, with a firm, when a firm came out, the article was like, hey, half of our payments, like 50% of them, a lot of the people they missed them. They missed those first day payments. Okay. That first month's payments, remember the buy now, pay later, and they're Amazon's biggest payment processor now, right? So if consumers are telling you that they're missing these short-term payments, likely what could be happening on short-term banknotes, credit cards, small loans, possible missing. You guys know that the banks only make money technically by interest. Okay, so they need you to make your they need you to make your payments. And so if they're missing them, they might miss on earnings short term. Now, long term, banks love higher loan amounts. Why? Because they know the rich and the big money and the big corporations are still going to need short-term capital to keep their doors open, to finance deals, to finance payroll, to do all these things. So they're still going to be able to borrow large sums of money out at higher rates, ultimately giving them more money. So I'm still bullish on the banks long term. Short term, I think we could see a little turbulence to the downside. That's just me. And we saw it already on Friday. So if that's any inclination of what could come this week on Goldman Sachs and on Bank of America, that's definitely possible. Okay. Kapil says Netflix is Thursday. That something tells me that Dan is going to be all over this one because it's actually kind of got my attention as well. Nice. Yeah, look at that downtrend. Good Lord. Okay. Already got to put on it. Dan's early to the party. He said, already got to put on it. So nice, Dan. Anyway, you'll have to explain further in the love the IV play. Yeah, explain further in the chat which ones you bought and stuff. I'm actually interested. This might be one that I want to play if we get a nice pop going into it. If they crater it down into it, the IV is gonna be way too fucking hot. So I'll probably just chill on it. But I do like this play. And the reason I like it is because a lot of people are back to work. They're not staying at home or have as much free time. Inflation is high. So what happens when inflation is high? When prices start going up, prices of necessities go up. Gas, okay, utilities, energy, groceries, right? Things that you need to live. You don't need Netflix to live. So you now start, if you're a smart household, you start saying, what are my necessities and what are my wants? And you typically start cutting out your wants or your luxuries. Could that be the case for Netflix? I don't know. Now it's still pretty fucking cheap, right? But you could think that there are people that are struggling. And it looks to me, oh, what is this cake? Oh, Cheesecake Factory. Okay. Their subscriber base increased this quarter. That's good. That's good, actually. Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. That'll be an interesting one to watch.
I personally use Disney Plus, so
Disney Plus. So I'm just thinking like this, you know, typically if they sell something off into earnings, there's usually a bounce. If they're buying the fuck out of something into earnings, there's typically some downside. That's a lot of the earnings I've seen, but I'm still haven't seen many earnings where the shit takes off. Still, especially this quarter thus far. I haven't seen anything that's like earnings announced and the motherfucker goes a running. Now, the only one that did was Taiwan Semiconductor because they had mentioned something about the increase in the equipment or something, or maybe buying. And yeah, I had to read into it again. But they went nuts. And now the semiconductor equipment stocks went nuts too. NVIDIA and AMD are not equipment stocks. They sell the finished good. Okay, the stocks that make the equipment are like LRCX, AMAT, okay, those types of stocks. This one will be interesting. So JT is already bearish on it, and seeing the drop, depending when he got in, he's probably going to be able to get out before earnings, or maybe just leave one contract because I know he likes to buy a few. So interesting one there, Dan. We'll keep an eye though for sure. Kapil, thank you for the information on the subscriber list for this quarter. Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. Now look at AMAT here. This is an equipment, a chip equipment stock. Went nuts. Go to LRCX, another one. Went nuts. TSM. also went nuts. Okay. Just interesting. Something to think about. Okay. Something to think about. Do they fade them or do they get continuation? I don't know. I think they might get some continuation. Look at this daily graph though, man. Look at that consolidation. Just
Right.
it's flagged out. So the move was meant to come. Interesting stuff here. But yeah, I mean, as far as economic data goes too, guys, I looked, nothing is really coming up. On the economic data, the Fed is not talking this week. They don't talk till next week. It's just OPEX week. So keep your eye on TNX. Keep your eyes on the VIX. Kevin says, in regards to OPEX, other than unusual whales and volume, is there resources that help navigate where the big boys are buying and selling? Pretty much any of those, any of the flow, anything that has to do with flow. So whether it's like Tradelytics, unusual whales, cheddar flow, black box, trade alerts, all those you can see there. Definitely, but I would say, is there anything else outside of those services? Probably, unless you're just watching the ticker chain on the actual options chain, you know, you can see actually everything that is bought and sold. So you could watch that as well, and just go search. You could tailor your search to do over X amount of volume, which would equate to a dollar figure, or you could just find the biggest buys and sells of the day. Okay, of the day if you want. So other than that, yeah, that's all I really watch. But I think TNX and I think the VIX will be something good for you guys to start watching, understand how they move, either with or against the indices. Justin, that's all I got, bro. I know that's all we really wanted to hit on today.
Yeah,
because
I think we need to go switch to more of a take one trade a day. If it happens to be just a couple trades a week, that's fine. Just wait for good entries.
It's all about the entries, guys. It's all about the entries. Now, just because Justin and I aren't trading tons of trades and not calling out, there are other guys in here like a Dylan or a Dan, which is JT Guy, or Damo,
Carter,
or Melski, or Sherlin. They are taking other plays, so there are going to be call outs. Okay. And they're going to be calculated call outs, but just always remember this, especially during OPEX, smash and fucking grab always. Very simple. Smash and grab always. Okay. Yeah, that's all I got, bro. Oh, you know what? BBG or BB, what was the one Melski was talking about? Everyone, BBIG. Everybody got in super early in here, and now all of a sudden I just see it all over social media now.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be gonna try to gamma squeeze it. So you know how AMC was at the beginning of last year. That's pretty much what they're gonna try to do again with BBIG. So you're writing it. 278 was the call out.
Is that the 200 day at what is that, 5? Oh boy, I feel like that'd be a magnet, possibly a short-term magnet. Yeah, for
absolutely.
sure.
490. Yeah, I could see that for sure.
1000%.
Let's look at short volume, the shares on the float. Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, everybody's on it, so it's still going to get some more volume. Don't be freaked out if it dips.
Pre-market.
Yeah,
it might even gap up pre-market a bit. Just because I'm seeing that there's a lot of chatter on it.
Yeah, just take profit.
I'm seeing it in a lot of plays. Yeah, if you are in, take the profits. Don't be fucking greedy. There's no single one play that's going to turn you into a millionaire unless you have close to $1 million on it. Just take your profits and get the fuck out. Okay, super simple. Yeah. Guys, I know I was talking with Trell earlier today. He's going to post some homework again. I know you guys like those. So he'll probably just give like an MA overview with some resistance and some support if he has not done so already. I wasn't too active in the chat today, but I thought I saw some people tagging him. So pay attention there. And other than that,
I do want to if you want
Oh,
to
go ahead, go ahead.
in chart homework, you guys, I know somebody said something in suggestions. You guys can start. If you just want to throw in your support and resistance charting in there and in chart homework. So
Chart homework.
here, I'll just bring it up real quick.
Let's go to it. Yeah, let's go so they know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's right there under the education center. It's right above sermons, right? Yeah. When Justin says, "Don't DM me because I'm not going to answer them," I think you guys could see why he's not. Look at all those fucking messages. God, mine's actually kind of bad too, though. Go down. Wait.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Go up.
I can't even find it.
Education, right there. Charting. Wait.
Yeah, right here, chart homework.
Yeah, chart. Yeah, there it is.
So under education center, chart homework, you can just throw in your guys' support and resistance levels. And
post a screenshot.
I'll check them over.
Yeah. And if you guys can help, you guys could comment on each other's too. That'd be good.
Yeah.
So we get a bunch of eyes on it. We're all here to help, obviously, guys. So any questions, always ask. I know that we do have some new names in here, which is awesome. Welcome. Guys, the best way to learn is to ask. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If someone doesn't get to your question right away, we will. This is a very open and welcoming environment and culture. You'll see everybody is in here willing or ready to help. So yeah, don't get too discouraged. And this is also a week that is notorious for being choppy, notorious for rug pulls, notorious for a lot of things that have a lot of negative connotations behind it. So just chill. Okay, go slow and do less. Also, start at the Start Here channel. If you are new, Justin has a 30-minute video of how to navigate the Discord. Every single channel within it tells you what to expect out of it, why we have each channel. It is all set up by design. Nothing is by accident, guys. So learn about it and it will help you out immensely.
Yep.
Okay, immensely. It's that one right there. Welcome Discord walkthrough. That's the video. Okay. Other than that, if there aren't any questions, it doesn't look like there are any. Thank you for taking time, guys. Love y'all. Kevin, we love you, brother. Thank you for asking the questions. And other than that, Justin, you wanna
we'll see each other bright and early. Just get some sleep, eat healthy, and we got a health challenge coming soon. So get ready for that.
Oh yeah, 30-day challenge coming, guys. Get ready. It's gonna be it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be fun too. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Definitely.
Yep. Sherlin's gonna kick our ass in a good way. All right, cool. Justin, I'll catch you in the pre-market, brother. Everyone else, get some sleep, go on a walk, do something, but get ready, get focused for tomorrow, guys, and we'll see you in the Discord.
Have a good night.